Don't bother coming to the wedding. Uneducated people are not welcome. My sister spat out those words over the phone as if she were ridiculing me. Uneducated people? Aren't we sisters? As I replied, she began to deny my very existence. Huh? I don't acknowledge you as my sister. You're just a failure. It wasn't just my sister who looked down on me. My parents and even my sister's fiancé had done the same. I couldn't take it anymore. It was time to cut ties with these people. My name is Angie. I turned 30 not too long ago, but I am still unmarried. I have been a bit of a recluse since middle school, and although I enrolled in high school, I dropped out soon after enrolling. After that, I lived with my parents while working part-time jobs and saved up some money. I invested that money and have been running a small business for a few years now. Although it is a small company, I have been living on my own near the office and leading a fulfilling life. All of my employees are good people and do not look down on me despite knowing my educational background. They even praise me for being a hard worker and for building my dream company with an excellent work environment. However, I have one worry, which is my family. I have a younger sister who is 3 years my junior. Her name is Alicia. She is the complete opposite of me. Although she is not exceptionally smart, she has a quick wit and graduated from a famous private university. She is good at everything and has many friends, the type of person that is often referred to as outgoing. Alicia seems to dislike the fact that she has a sister like me. Her attitude towards me has been cold since we were young. Even when we used to live together with our parents, she would roll her eyes at me whenever we passed by each other. Ugh, why does a loser like you have to be my sister? Loser? I work hard and save money, you know. Really? All you do is stay cooped up in your room all day, except for occasional outings. I haven't gone out recently. I'm preparing for my startup. Upon hearing this, Alicia scoffed and pretended to laugh. A startup? You, a worthless freeloader? Give me a break. I'm serious. Look, if you have time to say stupid things like that, why don't you just leave? You're such a nuisance. From then on, Angie endured daily verbal abuse from her sister. She was used to their bickering, but being insulted every time they saw each other was too much to bear. Her parents, of course, always took Alicia's side. They thought Angie was a failure of a freeloader. Even when Alicia berated her with harsh words, they never stopped her. They would just watch and chuckle. Tired of the situation, Angie decided to move out. Mom? Dad? I've decided to live on my own. However, their response was cold.
So what?
Do whatever you want. Huh?
We don't care where you go.
That's right. We have Alicia, and that's enough for us. Oh, I see. I understand. One day, out of the blue, Angie received a phone call from her family's house, from whom she hadn't heard from in ages. The person on the other end of the line was her mother, who began speaking in a business-like tone, as though she were relaying information. Your younger sister Alicia is getting married. They'll be signing the papers this coming Sunday. Oh, really? Congratulations to her. Tell Alicia, not me. And you should give her a proper wedding gift, you know? Huh? But I don't even know where Alicia lives now. You have her contact information, don't you? Honestly, you're such a failure, even at your age. With that, her mother hung up abruptly, leaving a dial tone in her ear. Angie grew increasingly frustrated. Why did she have to put up with this? If her mother wanted her to give a gift, Couldn't she at least give her sister's address? She couldn't help but complain in her mind. But she couldn't just leave things as they were. It was her sister after all. If she ignored the situation, things would only get worse. So she reluctantly made the call to Alicia. After a few rings, Alicia answered with an unfriendly tone. "What do you want?" Suppressing my frustration, I got straight to the point. "I heard from Mom that you're getting married." "So what? It's none of your business, you unemployed loser. Mom told me to send you a congratulatory gift. Is there anything you want?" "Ha! As if a deadbeat like you could afford to buy anything from me." "If I don't send anything, Mom will nag me about it. Can you at least give me your new address?" I tried to keep the conversation civil despite my sister's usual attitude, but her next words left me speechless. "People like you with low education don't belong in our circle. Don't bother coming to the wedding." "What do you mean, people like me? We're sisters, you know." "Huh? I don't recognize you as my sister, you failure. Besides, I already told my husband that you're just a defective product related to us by blood." "Hold on a second. You could at least choose your words carefully." Alicia showed no remorse and acted as if she were in the right, her confidence unshakable. I wanted to hang up the phone right then and there, but if I did that, it would be playing right into her hands. Besides, if I didn't send a gift to celebrate the occasion, I could already hear my parents complaining, "What an ungrateful child," or "How could she do this to her own sister?" I wouldn't hear the end of it. Undaunted, I spoke to my sister again. "Fine, I won't attend the wedding. Is that what you want?" "As if I care. You coming would just ruin the whole thing." "Just give me your address. I won't bother you again after that." "You're so annoying. You're not even part of this family, so stop trying to act like it." "But can we be done now? I am busy preparing for the wedding. Bye." With a heavy sigh, I sat down where I was. Who did she think she was? I didn't even want to send her a gift in the first place. Ugh, it's all so stupid. If she's going to act like that, then I won't contact her anymore. I gave up on getting my sister a wedding gift and decided to cut off all contact since then. A month later, something amazing happened. My sister had gotten a job at the company I run. Since all personnel matters were handled by the Human Resources Department, I didn't find out until after my sister had been hired. Looking at my sister's proof photo attached to her resume, I felt indescribable emotions. No way. Alicia decided to come work at my company, of all places. I heard that she had decided to change jobs to our company because she wanted to work for a short time after getting married. I decided to ask an employee who had been in charge of the interview. "How was Alicia during the interview?" "Oh, she was a very pleasant person to be around. Her resume is also very solid." "I see. She just got married and she wants to balance housework and work. It's amazing for someone so young." Yeah, you're right. It's true that my sister has a good educational background and is friendly. Maybe she's someone that the company wants as a valuable employee. However, as someone who knows her true nature, I couldn't be completely happy about it. I couldn't simply say that we weren't hiring her because she's an evil woman after we've already hired her. She probably doesn't even know that the president of the company where she got a job is me. I decided not to reveal my identity and to watch her for a while. Even though I'm the president, I mainly interacted with regular employees, so I will probably not have much interaction with my sister, who is working for a short time. If I don't approach her, she probably won't even notice my existence. I had mixed feelings, but as long as she does her job properly, I won't have any complaints. 1 month had passed since then, and to my surprise, my sister had become a troublesome presence. One day, a staff member came to me looking very troubled. "Excuse me, President? Can I talk to you for a moment?" "What's the matter?" "It's about Alicia, the new employee who joined us recently." "What about her?" "Well, there's a rumor that she's having an affair with a married employee named Mike." "What?" After listening to the details, it turned out that Alicia was indeed in a relationship with Mike, and they were often seen walking arm in arm after work, causing problems for the overall business. Jenna, the staff member who had told me about this, was like a manager in charge of the office and was also my right-hand woman and a reliable presence. I couldn't just leave her in such a difficult situation as this. As the president, I had to take action. I gently spoke to her as she looked troubled and bowed her head. "I'm sorry for troubling you. I'll take care of this matter." "But as president, you're also busy." "Actually, Alicia is my younger sister." "Huh? The president's sister?" She widened her eyes in surprise, which was understandable. "I'm sorry for not telling you earlier. To be honest, my sister and I don't get along well. She probably hasn't realized yet that she had transferred to her own sister's company. I had no idea. Anyway, leave this matter to me. I'll deal with it as soon as possible." Jenna looked anxious, and I smiled at her and she bowed before leaving my office. I sighed deeply and sat back in my chair. Now, what should I do? First things first, I had to catch Alicia cheating. I decided to hire a private investigator and have them investigate my sister's affairs. To my surprise, the investigator found out that my sister had not only been cheating, but also embezzling the company's funds. No way. My sister used the company's money like this? According to the investigator's report, my sister and her lover were living extravagantly every day, and all the money they spent came from the company's expenses. At that moment, the anger that I had been suppressing towards my sister erupted. This was unacceptable. Cheating and lowering the company's morale, and even embezzling its funds. I couldn't let her get away with this. I reported the evidence, including the photos and the embezzlement, to the personnel department, and I ordered them to dismiss my sister and her lover on the spot. Several days later, the president of our business partner came to our office to greet us. We were discussing future business plans when we heard a knock on the door. Normally, I ask my staff not to disturb me when I'm in a meeting with someone, so the fact that someone was knocking meant that there was an urgent issue. I excused myself to the president and opened the door to find my right-hand woman, Jenna, standing there. "Jenna, what's wrong?" Well, Alicia, the person we fired the other day, came to our office and yelled at us, saying that she couldn't accept being let go. And when she realized that the president was her sister, she started making a fuss about it. She even brought her husband with her. What a mess. Just as we were talking, we heard Alicia's voice. "There you are." We turned to see her approaching us with an angry look on her face, followed by her husband. It seemed like she was feeling confident with her husband by her side, and she was being quite aggressive. "What do you mean by firing me, even though you're my older sister?" "What do you mean? Didn't the employees explain it to you?" "I don't know anything about it. Are you crazy to fire your own sister?" Then, even her husband started showering me with abuse. Does this man not know the reason why his wife was fired? I was amazed, but I asked him, "Excuse me, you're Alicia's husband, right?"
So what?
"Do you understand why your wife was fired?"
Of course. She just used a little company expense. That's all, right?
And then?
What? That's it, isn't it?
Looks like you still don't know. It seemed that things were getting worse, and my sister's expression stiffened. She seemed to be pleading with her eyes not to say anything more, but that's not something I cared about. he probably only knows a small part of the whole story. Just so you know, your wife was cheating on you with one of our male employees.
What? Cheating?
And to make it worse, the guy she was seeing is also married. They were using company funds for their dates. Don't you think they deserve to get fired?
What are you talking about? Alicia wouldn't do that.
Believe what you want. I still have a meeting with a business partner, so if you'll excuse me. As I tried to leave for the president's office, he yelled after me with a loud voice. He must really not want to face the reality of the situation. He continued to hurl insults at me, one after another.
This crappy company isn't right for Alicia anyway, and your business partners aren't any better. Your company is just a joke run by a high school dropout and a bunch of unemployed losers. I shrugged my shoulders, realizing that arguing with him is pointless. Just as I was thinking that, the president of one of our clients came to the president's office and greeted my sister's husband with, "Hey." Suddenly, his expression turned pale, and he muttered, "President?" in a trembling voice. It turned out that the company we were doing business with was the one my sister's husband worked for. He seemed to hold a decent position in the company and was familiar with the president. He quickly started to explain himself, his voice shaking. What are you doing here, Mr. President?
Why do you ask? We've just started a new business relationship. You know, she has become quite famous as a self-made young CEO who climbed up the ranks from being a high school dropout. Well, I've heard that our company isn't very good in your opinion, so if you want to quit, we'll accept it any time.
Please, I beg of you not to say that.
My sister's husband started to bow down to the president. As I watched, my younger sister began to yell at me. "Hey, what the hell? My husband is in a terrible situation, and now my affair has been exposed." So what? It's your own fault, isn't it? What? Are you talking to your little sister like that? Little sister? You're my older sister. How could you fire your own flesh and blood? We're family, so be a little more forgiving. Younger sister. Family. I was utterly disgusted by her convenient words and her lack of remorse for the insults she had hurled at me. What are you talking about? I don't have a little sister or a family. Huh? You're my older sister, aren't you? I don't have a little sister. If you're just a fake little sister who once had the nerve to speak to me without acknowledging me as your older sister, that's fine. Wait a minute. Stop with the weird jokes. I'm really in trouble here. Even at this point, there was no apology for the verbal abuse she had directed at me in the past. I was disgusted by my sister's self-centeredness. I told you I don't have a little sister. You're a former employee of our company who got fired for embezzlement and cheating on your husband. You're just a worthless human being. Do you understand? You shouldn't say things like that. You've been making fun of me all this time. Now it's my turn to speak up. I don't consider you my little sister. You're just a complete stranger to me. Just suffer and go to hell, you piece of crap. With that, my sister collapsed in a heap, weeping uncontrollably. It goes without saying what happened afterwards. Since my sister's husband made a comment about their company not being worth much, it caused the president's disapproval and got him transferred to a less important department. To make matters worse, rumors spread throughout the company that my sister had committed adultery and embezzlement at her new job. Her husband, who had lost his position, is now apparently skipping work frequently. As for my sister, it seems that since the fact of her infidelity was exposed, her husband demanded a divorce. She is now facing demands for compensation from both her husband and the wife of her lover. Because of the double claims, she's been pushed into debt hell. As a result, she's been abandoned by our parents and has no one to rely on, and has even started taking dangerous jobs. It's highly unlikely that she'll be able to lead a decent life in the future. It's truly hopeless. Although it's her own fault, I feel ashamed as her older sister. On the other hand, I am leading a busy but fulfilling life. My business is growing with more clients, and I hope to make it even bigger in the future. I may not have a family, but I am living a satisfying life. I am proud of my rewarding life.